G'day there, Ray Corcoran here. In this week's video, I'm going to be going over how you can set up a side hustle where you can make between $1,000 to $2,000 a month or more. Side hustles can be a really good stepping stone, especially if you're in a 9-to-5 job and you're kind of looking to maybe transition into a business or just generally working for yourself. Side hustles are a great way to do that. And if you can get a little bit of money coming in on the side in parallel with your job, it means that you can have a bit more confidence to leave your job because you actually have already established a second income stream. For me personally, I prefer side hustles where you're actually learning a skill that you can use later. Some people do side hustles like online surveys and they make $5 and $50 and that sort of stuff. I personally don't really like those because you're not really developing any skills. You're spending time and you're getting money, which is, I guess, good. But you're also not developing any future skills that can sort of compound as your career goes on. So I definitely have a leaning towards things that I can learn skills like marketing, communication, leadership, sales, organization, anything that I can learn that I can use multiple times throughout my career with these evergreen skills is a much better way to approach side hustles. So let's get into 5 different side hustles. They're all kind of a few different types of side hustles that you can do in 2022 to start making money on the side. So number 1 is building WordPress websites. So this is something that I did myself. I've done a separate video about this, going into more detail about it, but basically I had a friend that was telling me that he was making a few $1,000s a month building WordPress websites, and they were very basic, they weren't very fancy, but basically what would happen is he would buy a WordPress template website that has sort of the bones of the website, and then he would pay an offshore freelancer maybe $200 to build the website to his client's specification. And I was very interested by this. I was like, well, how do you do it? Can you teach me? And he taught me a little bit and eventually just referred me to YouTube to learn basic tutorials about WordPress. And there's heaps of content online. And basically, I was self-taught learning how to build the sites. And we're not building crazy complicated websites. We're kind of building almost the same website every single time with different colors and slightly different style. But the structure of the website was very similar because most businesses, that when they want to get maybe their first website, or maybe they want to update their website, a lot of them don't need crazy requirements. We're not building e-commerce stores, we're not building unique websites, but we're building simple websites that can get them up and running, makes them look professional and modern. And by doing that, it's very valuable to them. And for them to do it themselves can be quite frustrating dealing with contractors. Contractors can go MIA, they can always stuff up the website. So you're kind of handling that side of things for them. And initially I charged nothing. I did it for free for friends and family, and then moved into charging $500, then $1,000, then $1,500, then $2,000, and then above. And you kind of just keep increasing your rates the better that you get at it. And I really like this one. It's something you can still do in 2022, and it's still useful for them. They get a nice looking website, you get money. It's a great transaction. Number 2 is consulting. So if you have specialized knowledge in an area, you can charge people to help them fix problems related to that area. So, and the good thing is you don't even need to know much because you can also just teach yourself about a topic. So say you don't know anything about anything, which I doubt, but maybe you don't. You can learn a lot about SEO, you can learn a lot about sales, or you can learn a lot about a topic. And within a few months of studying this extremely frequently, you're going to know so much more than the average Joe. You're not going to be a master overnight. That can take years. But with a few months of really solid research and learning and practice and all that sort of stuff, you can learn way more than the average person. So you'll still be useful to them. And obviously, ideally over time, you keep building on that knowledge so you can become a true expert. But you can learn quite a lot in a short period of time, and you can kind of condense that time frame quite a bit. And the way that you want to approach this is really from a problem-solving mindset. So for me, I do a lot of consulting on marketing, and I can help a business owner get more customers and help them develop the strategy to get the customers. So they might have their business, they want more customers than they're getting now, they don't know where to start. They can hire someone like me and pay me a retainer, and we'll speak on a regular basis and map out the strategy and keep them accountable to that strategy on a regular basis. And then they will see the growth and then they're super happy. And the good thing about consulting is while it does use your personal time, it is very high margin. So there's a trade-off because you have to typically do it. It's harder to outsource or train someone else on it, but it is possible. What you want to be doing is, especially early on, it's really, really good for cash flow. You don't need much except maybe a phone and knowledge and an ability to find customers. And finding customers is not easy, but it's not that hard either. So you can start with your personal network, friends, family, extended network. You can start with people that you work with. You can do stuff like networking events. You can do ads to find clients. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can find customers. You can do partnerships, find someone who already has that audience, collaborate with them, add value to their audience for free, and then you can get a lot of exposure for a new brand. There's a few different ways to go about it, but I really like this one because it's a bit of a reliable moneymaker over time, and the better that you get at it, the more you can charge, and you can get paid quite a lot in a single day. So you might not do that from day one, but a little side hustle could turn into quite a big earner down the track, and that's definitely what I found. Number 3 is affiliate marketing. So this one can take a little bit of work up front, but then once you kind of get it up and running, you can get somewhat passive income. I don't believe almost any income is going to be truly passive where you do nothing and make money. There's always some sort of catch, I feel. For me personally, I make a few grand a month from affiliate commissions. So on this YouTube channel, if I talk about a product and use my referral link, I'll get a commission as a thank you from the brand for mentioning and talking about their product and doing maybe reviews on their product. And it can be a bit of a grind early on, but I really like it because over time it can really compound, and the bigger your audience gets and following gets, you can kind of make relatively easy money. And you don't have to deliver the service or the product. So you're just a middle person, a middleman or woman that gets exposure or gets attention to a product or service. And if they buy using your link, then you can get a clip of the revenue. And for me personally, I kind of feel like long term, I would move towards selling your own products where you can make a much bigger margin. But early on, this can be great because you don't have to have your own product or service. You just have to be good at getting attention, pointing them towards the product, hopefully ethically, not to rubbish products. And you get a clip for doing that for them because you're basically doing the marketing for the brand. Number 4 is one that you don't need a great deal of skill for, and that is flipping products on Gumtree or eBay or Craigslist or whatever the trading websites are in your country. And basically this involves you really understanding typically one niche or market. So it could be sports cards, it could be couches, it could be kids' toys, whatever it is. But basically the way it works is that you get really, really basically obsessed with a particular area. You really learn the market, learn the pricing, learn what popular products in this category are worth and what they typically sell for. And then you're kind of going around to either garage sales, doing a Gary V, going to heaps of garage sales in a day, or doing stuff like going on the websites and finding products that are underpriced, buying them and reselling them at a profit. And this is a good one because you don't really need to know a great deal. It's a bit more of like a sort of a hustle style project, because you don't need to know heaps. You just need to really do a lot of research on the market, get a feel for what stuff's worth, what's popular, what moves quickly, and over time you can spot good value in the market, buy the stuff for cheap and resell it for the market rate, and then you collect the difference. And the reason this can work so well is a knowledge gap and a laziness gap. So someone at a garage sale may not either A, know what it's really worth, and then you can make money reselling it, or B, they just don't care. Like they're just like, I want to get rid of it. And number 5 is a common one, which is just doing like Uber driving or Uber Eats deliveries. And a good thing about this is, while I personally maybe wouldn't necessarily fully recommend it for everybody, it is something that if you already have a car or if you already have a bicycle, it's something that you can sort of monetize existing stuff that you have. Now, you need to understand the costs of maintenance and wear and tear on your vehicle or on your bicycle or whatever it is. It isn't just like pure profit, but it's something that you could probably get started with in a short period of time. There's a lot of demand for it. You can make a little bit of money. I wouldn't see this as like a long-term solution, but it could be something that could create an extra few $100 a week, depending on how many hours you do. And that can sort of add up, and that can create a bit of breathing space for you financially. And then you can turn that into, investing into something that you want to invest in, or putting that towards starting a business, or putting it towards something that's a bit more potentially lucrative long term. So I hope you found that useful. Side hustles can be a really, really good way for you to exit the rat race or just move towards working for yourself or creating a bit more freedom for yourself and income. All of these take work, so don't try and look for the ones that take no effort and make heaps of money. It's you're just gonna be wasting your time. But hopefully that can start to give you a few different ideas around like, well, okay, how do I create some independent income? For me, I was really excited when I started making even a few dollars on the side that was not related at all to my day job. It was very, very exciting, even though it was a small amount of money, because that was a sign that, you know, if I could make $5, I could make $500, and if I could make 500, I could probably make 5,000. And it kind of snowballs from there. The better you get at it and the more that you learn how to do it. So it can start small and boring, but it can get really exciting later. So hope you found that useful. If you have any questions, let me know below, or if you've had any side hustles that you found that have made you good money that maybe I haven't mentioned, I would love to hear them. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.